In the Kharkov sector, the battlefield was reshaped before the targets even realized they had been found. Pion self-propelled guns of the Zapad group opened fire from deep behind the lines, sending massive shells crashing into temporary deployment areas of the armed forces of Ukraine. What had been clusters of troops and field camps were instantly ripped apart, turning staging zones into fields of fire and shattered earth, as concentrated artillery power erased both manpower and any illusion of safety in the rear areas. In the Dnipropetrovsk region, a T-80BV tank crew from the East Group successfully destroyed an enemy UAV control post, cutting off the adversary's surveillance capabilities and strengthening the security of the operational area. Meanwhile, near Krasnopol, tankers from the 1435th Motor Rifle Regiment, part of the Center Group, supported the advance of assault units with precise fire from their T-72B3M tanks. Explosions and cannon blasts pierced enemy defensive lines, paving the way for ground forces to capture positions that had previously been difficult to breach. Each tank maneuver and shot demonstrated tight coordination and modern combat power, dramatically altering the battlefield in a matter of minutes. A Kornet ATGM squad from the Zapad Forces Group successfully destroyed an ammunition depot of the armed forces of Ukraine in the Kharkiv region. A Kornet operator with the call sign Griff explained that their crew also targeted armored vehicles and enemy firing positions. Direct hit. An artillery unit with 120mm self-propelled 2S9 Msta-S guns from the Yaroslavl airborne troops, part of the Dnipro group, destroyed an enemy UAV control center on the right bank of the Dnieper River in Kherson. The massive explosion immediately halted the enemy's aerial surveillance. AT-80BV tank crew from the 44th Army Corps of the Northern Forces Group carried out a precision strike in the Kharkiv direction. Using aimed fire, they destroyed a camouflaged enemy dugout, a UAV control post, and personnel of the armed forces of Ukraine. The operation underscored the dominance of armored forces on the battlefield. Fast, accurate, and lethal. The T-80BV tank is a force that opens the way and relentlessly suppresses the enemy. On the Zaporozhye front, the destruction did not begin with the fortifications themselves, but with the invisible line of sight that marked them for death. From far behind the front, Msta-S self-propelled guns of the Vostok group released Krasnopol precision rounds that curved through the sky, locked onto their laser-designated targets, and slammed straight into armed forces of Ukraine's strongpoints. One by one, concrete emplacements and firing nests were peeled open, turning what had been hardened defensive positions into collapsing pockets of debris and flame, leaving the entire sector stripped of its ability to resist. Over the Sever Group's sector, the sky itself is under constant watch, where a Pantsir-S air defense unit tracks every movement above the front like a hunter locking onto prey. From its radar-guided eyes to its ready-to-fire missiles and guns, the system forms an invisible shield around critical facilities, turning the airspace into a controlled kill zone where any hostile aircraft or drone that dares to cross the line is already being measured, targeted, and prepared for destruction. In Pristan, Rubicon Center FPV teams turned a quiet staging area into a sudden inferno, slamming precision strikes into the temporary deployment zone of the Armed Forces of Ukraine Condor Air Reconnaissance Unit, as the explosions tore through position and equipment. Rubicon operators simultaneously disrupted Ukrainian communications across multiple directions, blinding and isolating units just as the battlefield was being ripped apart. Next, this footage shows the destruction of a Ukrainian troop crossing point near the village of Kupiansk-Uzlovaya. Several Fab 500 missiles struck the target with precision, causing massive explosions that demolished the surrounding infrastructure. In the Hulyai direction, a Ukrainian Tu-22 Bodana self-propelled howitzer was destroyed by a combined strike. Lancet missiles and KV-N FPV drones hit with high precision, causing massive explosions that instantly annihilated the enemy's artillery system. Over an open field, drone operators guide their aircraft steadily forward. From above, the camera captures the pursuit as Ukrainian drones come into view. One by one, 5 hexacopters are intercepted and shot down, falling from the sky in rapid succession. On a cloudy day, a civilian's phone camera captures the sudden moment of impact. A Geron 3 kamikaze rocket UAV strikes in the locality of Zaporozhye in the Kharkiv region. Seconds later, a plume of smoke erupts at the edge of the roadway, rising sharply into the gray sky as the echoes of the strike fade. In stark black and white footage, a drone camera captures Russian armed forces striking from above. Precision hits destroy Humvee and Kozak armored vehicles of the Ukrainian armed forces west of Kupiansk, one after another. Once again, the strike follows. Russian Air Force aircraft deliver FAB aerial bombs onto a Ukrainian UAV control position in the Donetsk People's Republic, crushing the site under a precise and overwhelming blow. From the sky, a drone camera captures the decisive moment. A Tornado-S missile streaks in with pinpoint accuracy, slamming into a land crossing in the Lyman direction and tearing it apart in a single devastating strike. In Komarovka, the fight opened with the sky being cleared of enemy drones, allowing Sever Group assault teams to move in through houses, basements, and tree lines, while artillery and FPV drones smashed armed forces of Ukraine firing positions and reserves. Under this layered pressure, Ukrainian troops were forced to retreat as Russian units tightened their hold and pushed deeper into the Sumy border area. In the Kharkiv region, operators of the 68th Motorized Rifle Division turned 2 fiber optic guided drones into a precision execution, locking onto a Ukrainian Tu-S 3 Acacia self-propelled gun and tearing it apart in back-to-back strikes, leaving the artillery system burning and permanently silenced on the battlefield. The next video reveals the scene. Units known as the Nasty Ones unleash a wave of precision strikes, systematically dismantling counterattacking Ukrainian infantry and equipment near Pokrovsk and across parts of the Dnipropetrovsk region. That's all for today's update. Thanks for watching, and don't miss our upcoming videos.